Well, good morning. Tuesday. Just had to pop over to the trailer. Had to throw my iPad in there so I could start uploading the YouTube video that I edited last night. But yeah, we only get internet to the trailer. Our cell tower or internet tower, whatever, is well, it's just right there, right? You can see it. So I mean, obviously we have absolute direct line of sight to the trailer, and we get internet, and it's not the best, but it's internet. I mean, it works. So we moved across the yard there, just over to there behind the Super Bees there. We don't get internet. Apparently there's too many trees in the way, although you can still see the flashing light from the house, but we don't get internet at the house. So we are going to try that Starlink. We've heard lots of good reviews from that. What I got to do today, last night I noticed my lights in my livestock yard were out. So that little white pump house right there, that's got the breaker for the whole barnyard, and it was blown. So I reset it and it blew again. So I'm going to grab some gloves, my voltmeter. I'm going to walk up there, do a quick visual, see if there's a line down, a line broken somewhere. I have a feeling, I don't know, it must be from the chicken coop. I don't know. So I'm going to go check that out. So I'm up here in the little livestock yard we have, and starting to realize the benefits of getting a little more mature and a little less hot-headed. So I was thinking about it a little bit last night. You know, what could be the problem? Why were my yard lights out? They've been working for the last 2-3 years since I guess we put these up last 2 summers ago. So yeah, 2 years. Everything's been going good. All the livestock water bowls, heat, they all got heat. The one in the pig pen, we wired up that barn with some lights again. And then just recently, we wired up this wire to, of course, chicken coop. So if everything worked before and doesn't work now, we can assume it must have been something I did recently. So I was just up here tracing this wire, and bam, look at that. So this is a coated wire, should be coated. It's bared right off. This is another coated wire, starting to bear off. I don't exactly know where this wire came from, but I mean, that has to be it, right? It was laying on the roof, and as soon as it touched that tin or touched itself, it started to draw too many amps. Of course, that's the stuff that causes fires and yards to burn down. So instead of just keep resetting the breaker, like the ever-evolving individual that I am, I thought, well, we better get up there and have a look before we have a big problem. So I'm going to get this fixed. I'm going to get this kind of tied up in a little bit better way, and we'll see if we got the problem solved. I don't know exactly how long it took for it to blow. I fired it up this morning, and the lights turned on right away, and by the time I walked back to the new house, the lights were already out, so it had already tripped. So I'm gonna leave it on for a little while. I'll come back and check it out, see if it's blown again. But I'm pretty sure that would have been the problem, is bare wires. All right, well, she's Starlink unboxing day today. That was all that was in there. This little stand, the thing, and the other thing. That's very scientific terms. So Corey's outside. She downloaded the app, and she is checking for a good place to put it. That's my snowman. Me and him are very much aligned in our views on winter. It needs to see the sky, so. So I'm under the deck, and my plan here is to drill a hole right beside this natural gas line going into the house. That should be the best option, I would think. We're gonna mount the antenna on the south side of the house, which I think was, or sorry, the north side, which I think is not what they wanted, but regardless of where we end up putting it, we want to get the cable into the furnace room downstairs, because that's where everything goes. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, so I mean, unboxing that thing was pretty simple. There was a white box, there was a big white box, a stand that is totally useless for anything, and then a cable. So fortunately, the human race is so wasteful. During this satellite dish, Star Choice, Bell, all that stuff, everybody had like 14 satellite dishes hanging on their house. So the hardware for satellite dishes is very plentiful. As I said, the stand that it came with is absolutely totally useless, but we found about 9,000 pieces of old Star Choice, Bell, whatever, mounting hardware. So I got it mounted up there. I don't even know where I heard this. This might not be accurate, but I thought you needed like a clear view of the southern sky. So she can't reach it. She can't reach the cable. So that's my job, I guess. Go in there and do that. And then I don't know what happens. I don't know if that thing aims itself or whatever, but she's very tight up there right now. Okay, well, we got the cord run all over the place. So now we're just trying to see if this thing aims itself. The internet we had before was ExploreNet. It came from that tower like a mile away. And when we got it to the trailer, it was like 6 up, 2 down. Sorry, 6 down, 2 up. And it kind of worked. So, you know, I mean, those numbers aren't so great, but it worked. So I just did a speed test on the Starlink. Now we had 6 down, 2 up from ExploreNet. With Starlink, we're getting 70 down, 26 up. So that's exponentially faster, right? It's like 10 times faster. So hopefully that eliminates all of the issues we were having before. Now, we're not gamers. We don't go, I mean, we don't even have a computer really. Corey has a MacBook laptop that she does the books on, but mostly we just look up what we need on our phones, and the little bit of interneting we do is done from our phones. We don't play online games, and we don't do any of that stuff. As far as streaming, we might watch, I don't know, 1 or 2 movies a month. And I mean, a few episodes of TV, but not really that big. So my point to that, we didn't need the big power, but what we found with our ExploreNet is 6 down, 2 up. It was okay for us. It worked, but it was so intermittent that you just couldn't rely on it. I mean, there was more than a few times where Corey couldn't even print invoices because the internet wasn't working, and we're all set up, wireless printing, wireless this, wireless that. So it's $40 more. We were paying $100 before through ExploreNet, $100 a month, and we were getting, like I say, 6 down, 2 up, and it would, you know, it was very intermittent. There'd be times where it wouldn't work for 2 or 3 days. So for the extra $40, hopefully we have, I don't know, eliminated all the problems. We also get way more, and that's stuff that people have to rationalize to themselves. If you're getting limits and you're paying $100 a month, and you can move to something like Starlink. So Starlink, apparently it does have a limit, and it's called a terabyte, 1 terabyte a month. I actually had to look that up because I don't even know what that means. It seems to be 1 terabyte is 1,000 gigabytes. And we use, like, I think Corey looked and she said 1 month, either last year or the year before, we used 250. And she looked back, that was a really cold month. Kids were inside, we were inside, and I guess that's just how much we used 1 month. And that was our biggest usage, so we should never exceed 1,000 if the biggest month we ever had was 250. But all the technology aside and the internet aside, what do we got for eggs? Well, I don't know. I've been giving them a scoop of sunflowers every day. I topped up their oyster shell. I gave them a bunch more feed, did a really good cleaning, cleaned out their water, changed the wiring in here a little bit so we get better lights and better water heater without any flickering. So if these ladies are producing, we should have an egg or 2 in here today. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Look at that. So Dad got 2 eggs yesterday. The day before that, I got 1 egg. And now actually, look at, there's 4 eggs. So if you want your eggs or your chickens to start laying again, make sure they got lots of access to, I don't know, this was grit she got when she couldn't get oyster shells. This is, I don't know, some other stuff. This is feed. This is oyster shell. This is feed. This is feed. So we keep everything topped up as good as we can. She went this way. Lots of people don't like this way because it... oh, this water heater's not even hooked up. People don't like doing this because it's messy. But, I mean, whatever. They seem to pick through it anyways and get what they want. We keep shoveling it in and works for us, I guess. We did put the supplemental lighting in, so this timer hooks up to that light right there. Turns on, I think, at 4 in the morning, and then turns off at like around 10 or 11 in the morning once the sun comes up. So I got that from my buddy over at the Gentleman Farmer on YouTube. He said, you know, it's best to let them go by the natural light to go to bed. You don't want the light just turning off. So they have that one little window. It used to be 2, but a bird broke this one out last year, so haven't got it fixed yet. So like I say, the light turns on at 4 in the morning and then turns off by about 10. Then they get the light from the window all day long. And as soon as the sun goes down, they have that time to get roosted and enjoy their chicken life. I should get them some... It's amazing, like the water outside of there gets an ice on it and stuff like that, but the water inside of there, even without a heater, doesn't get ice on it. And that's, I mean, chickens themselves are like little heaters. They're very warm. Then of course the coop itself is insulated, so neat. Where's my... Oh, I have a scoop of sunflowers. I've been giving them a fairly big scoop because I was interested to see if this could spur on egg production. And it seems to be.